What is cracking, ladies and gentlemen? The KnoItAllz podcast in the building. G in the building. Big G, my boy Payday, my boy Tate Boy Fresh, my boy Mod. Sitting back on a Sunday. It's T-4, 3, 2, 1 till we kick this thing off with all type of football and all type of sports, man. But you know how we get out at the beginning of the show. Man, I'm going to say what's up to all my fellas today. We got a special guest, Payday. Pay, what's up with you, bro? You live in the show. What's cracking, man?
It's Sunday, man. Happy to be here. What's going on with my homies and my know-it-all brothers, Mod, Tate, Big G? How y'all feeling today?
Man, we chilling, man. And listen, Pay gonna have some stuff to talk about. Pay act like he gonna be moving some furniture around with the Bears because I think he's gonna Katie bar the door for all you bandwagon jumpers because his boy Caleb looking real tough. But we're gonna get into that in the show. What's up, Mod? What's cracking with you, bro?
Man, you got it. You got it. In a different location, if you can't tell. But I'm here. We out here, you know, me and Tate, we done had to do this, you know, be on location, I'm here.
Got you. Yeah, I'll be on location in a couple of weeks for sure. And my boy Tate Boy Fresh, what's cracking with you, man? What's going on? And Tate, don't get the big fine because I see the mute button pushed already, bro.
Hey, everybody should push mute when they not talking. That's a courtesy, podcast courtesy. You don't do it, Big G. That's why we hear your ice when you be drinking. You know?
I know you ain't talking about me. Hey, I know you ain't talking about me.
And it gets spicy.
I might be talking about one of your other co-hosts. But anyway, hey, man, I was thinking about something from the show Friday night, the homies, man, with you and Pay.
Yeah.
You and Vince.
Yeah.
Vince. But hey, man, Big G, from ages 14 to 25.
Yep.
I knew you back there, right?
Yep. You
was one of the best athletes around. For a young man, young kid that's grew to be probably 6'2", 275, 280. One of the best athletes ever. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
But you and Pay was talking about a bet. I don't remember what the bet was, but the payoff was push-ups.
Right, 25 of them.
Yeah, Big G. You don't got it in you, man. And I was gonna ask the question. Now, maybe if those are modified push-ups, I believe in you. Are they modified?
No, I got to do 25 straight. Well, no, I told him I could do 15, then I got to stop. Then I got to get him in before the show stops. If I lose.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I
was just thinking about that again. I went back and watched the show. I said, man, Big G my age. I don't think Big G got 25 push-ups in him. Not even.
I was doing. I was working out this morning, Pay. I did something this morning because I like, man, if I lose, I got to be to have my stamina.
Shout out to my wife, man, because I was talking to her about the bet and the payoff and stuff. And we convinced Pay could probably do it.
Yeah.
He didn't know either of you could do it. And she said, let me see how many I can do. I said, modified? And she did 11 regular push-ups.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Right, I can't do 11. I probably got 3 or 4 in me.
Yeah. It's all right. I'm going to get it.
My Wi-Fi at this location is big trash.
Man, I wanted to put the sign up so bad on him, man, but I got to keep it pushing, man. We got a lot of people in the live chat. Tate Boy Fresh, man. Shout out the live chat before we keep it pushing, bro.
Yeah, man. Okay. Shout out to the homie J. Steve, Mr. Woodsey, Booby Gibson in the building. Yeah. We got the Quad Father, Luke Cage, Tim Lyons in the building. Who else we got? We got Running Through the Jungle. That's B Dirt, T. Riley. Yeah, man, we got quite a Claude Bishop. Hey, Claude, man, appreciate the shout out, the super chat you gave last night on the post game show, man, and you shouted out, to homies, man. I mean, well, Big G by name, Pay and B Dirt by those guys that don't like the Steelers. And at least you shouted them out, Claude. I ain't hear nothing about me, but appreciate you nonetheless, bro.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. All right, fellas. You know, I like we get out at the very beginning. If you're watching the podcast, wherever you're watching the podcast, make sure you like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. And share it with a friend, man, because we are growing on the KnoItAllz channel. And like we've been saying all along, our goal is to push to get that 1K subs by September 1st. Fellas, we're about to get it. But before we get at it, let's get to this. And we're back with the KnoItAllz podcast. Let me get Mod back here in the building. His Wi-Fi is on the remote is messing up, but we are back, man. Fellas, what's cracking, man? What's cracking? Let's get into the subjects. Let's get into what we're talking about. Hey, man, it's preseason week 2, man. We had some winners. We had some losers. We had some big trash plays. We had a lot of stuff going on, man, over week 2 preview with the preseason. So I'm going to swing this over to our guest first. Hey, man, what you liking? What you seeing out there that you like, man?
I think you know what I like. I'm liking what my squad is handling, what they're doing this August. Everything that they put out there for consumption. Hard Knocks, their 3 preseason games we haven't taken 1 L yet. Caleb has played two games. So, well, he's played a half of football and a few what do you call that, series?
Yeah.
Everything has been amazing. Everything from the young man has been amazing so far. What else? The defense has looked pretty good. I'm still holding out hope that we come together on our offensive line. And the running back situation, it's actually turning out better than I had thought it was going to be. I thought he was going to be down a running back.
Hey,
pulling together.
What happened to Roshan? I ain't seen Roshan at all. Is he just not going to be playing in the preseason?
Roshan played in the Hall of Fame game. The last 2 games, he did not check in. He was held out of the second game against Buffalo. I haven't heard why he didn't play yesterday. I believe he was held out of the Buffalo game because of a nagging injury, but nothing that's kept him from practicing. So I don't know what to make of that just yet. However, his spot on this team is safe. So I don't think there's anything I don't think there's much to take away from it.
Who do you think is the running back that's going to be gone? Is it going to be your guy, what is number 23, that used to play for Atlanta? Is he the odd man out?
Number 20.
Somebody getting a big fine.
We know whose phone that was. Number 23. You're talking about who used to play for Atlanta? Khalil Herbert was drafted by the Bears. So at the onset of camp, we at the Bear Claw had hypothesized that Khalil Herbert might be the odd man out.
Hey, can I interrupt y'all real quick?
Yeah.
This was a real important call. My niece called me to show me she rocking her Steeler gear.
Oh yeah.
Say hi, Flora. Hi. Say hi, KnoItAllz. Hi, KnoItAllz.
Yeah. That's a half fine because she represents the Steelers, so she gets a half fine for sure. Go ahead, Pay. Say what you're saying about the Bears. And Pay, I want you to know, Beat Erd is over there in the live chat talking cash money, bro. He's saying, "Come on, Pay. What in the heck is going on?" And he's hitting you with some stats right here. He said Caleb had 64 pass rating, 5.7 yards per attempt, which would be last in the league last year, and 40 yards were on a screw and roam down there somewhere play. Hey, he's starting match with you, Pay. What's going on? Be there talking that yak. And he said against the Bengals backups.
Are we doing that for a preseason game? Are we really digging into the numbers that far? Why are we doing that?
I'm just saying.
Why are we doing that?
He's talking yak.
If I'm not mistaken, the Bears won that game pretty convincingly, right? So I don't know what's the takeaway from that. Yes, the backups played, and they looked like a bunch of backups because the Bears made them look that way. Back to the point. At the onset of camp, Bear Claw podcast, we hypothesized that Khalil Herbert might be the odd man out of that crowded running back room. For one, Khalil Herbert wasn't drafted by this regime, and for two, he is on the last year of his deal after they just brought in DeAndre Swift and they drafted your boy out of Texas, Rashawn Johnson, last year in the 4th round. So he might be the odd man out. You don't think Travis Homer's going anywhere because he's a special teamer, jack of all trades type of player. So he's not going to go anywhere. And now we got Ian Wheeler coming out of nowhere, undrafted rookie out of Howard, speedster. And then there's Velus Jones, who I still don't think is going to make the squad. So it's a lot of bodies in our running back room. But Khalil Herbert's been seeing a lot of snaps with the first team. So I don't know. He might be sticking around.
I think he's the guy, though. I think he's the one that's going to be gone. I think y'all hit that spot on the head. I think he'll be the one that'll be out of here.
I don't know. I think Khalil Herbert makes the squad. All right, Tate, just let me get your take, man, on the Steelers, man. You know, because I could go all day and night talking crazy about what we've seen in Pittsburgh. But I'm gonna send it over to a person that's gonna talk a little sense and try to walk me off the ledge, because I got some big questions going on for Pittsburgh. So Tate, man, what's happening with the preseason, bro?
Well, let's look at the bright side of things. Last year, first team offense scored on every possession in the preseason. Then they came out against San Francisco and scored 1 touchdown in the first game. So to use reverse psychology, perhaps this means the offense is going to be really, really good. You know? But, man, I don't blame him for a lot of stuff, but I blame Coach Tomlin for where we at right now.
Oh.
He trying to promote too many competitions and have too many guys that belong in a certain spot show their versatility. Put the guys in the spot that they need to go with. Don't put the music over my take, man.
No, that was me, man. That was me. I'm trying to adjust my mic. My bad.
My bad, Ma. Were you messing up?
I'm like, wait a minute. I ain't got no hands on the control. I ain't got no hands.
Turn the music down to 12, Big G.
Oh, I got it, man. I'm just messing with my mic, man. Go ahead.
Well, you messing with the music, and it's over my take. I don't like that. Anyway, Tomlin needs to go ahead and put the players where they're going to play. Broderick Jones, as bad as he's been looking, put him at left tackle, let him be bad over there and get used to where he's going to play. You know what I mean? Stop trying to split the first team quarterback reps between Russ and Justin Fields. Decide who will be a quarterback and give them all the reps with the first team offense. I mean, he just doing too much tinkering right now, man. Russ does look small. Wait, let me read Mr. Woodsee's comment. Russ Wilson does look small. Fields looks fast. 77 looked atrocious. I am concerned for real.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the concern, but I think it's going to be all right. I think we just going to spend this next week, last 3 weeks before the first game, getting everybody where they need to be. I didn't see enough because it wasn't fair, but I just see what Justin Fields can do, man, when it's time to improvise what the Russ can't do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And right now, at the state of with a new offense, a young line, you're gonna need that. You're gonna need that ability to get out and make plays, improvising and kind of, out of structure.
Well, Tate, let me ask you this, because I agree with that. I agree that Justin Fields looks great when he's in scramble mode, but he does miss the passes that he should. Like he overthrew a couple people on the sideline, and like I told Big G backstage on the scramble drill where he threw it, that ball was tipped. If that had been the starting corner, that's an interception. So in my mind, I'm like, he's better with his feet than he is his arm, and Russie is better with his arm than he is his feet. So it's kind of a trade-off. So how do you feel about that?
I didn't see Russ throw no passes downfield last night.
Facts.
That's also to say the O-line didn't protect much, and the fact that the O-line was protecting much, Justin Fields can get out the pocket and still make something happen. Yeah. The one throw that happens. I mean, man, if it was a starter, maybe it would have been intercepted. The one post pattern, the touchdown pass to the dude Luther, he kind of just overthrew that by about 2 yards, but he was able to make time and see that.
Yeah. Okay.
Russ wouldn't have done that. So I think right now and going forward, I mean, I really feel, and I'm curious and anxious to see Russ this week against Detroit. And I think that'll be a good last final preseason game because it gets us ready to travel 1, playing the Dome 2 to get ready to go down to Atlanta. But yeah, I just want to see Justin and Russ both with the ones. If the ones play the whole first half next week, let Russ play the first quarter with him and Justin play the second quarter and get them both out and make the decision after that.
I like that take. I think that's a good take. Hey,
I'm gonna say this, man, for sure, man. The problem with the offense is them not solving who the starting 5 offensive linemen are. And once we solidify the starting five offensive linemen, a lot of these problems and issues that you see is going to go away. I have some concerns on whether or not Jones is injured. And if he's injured, then we might have to do something different. But if Jones is able to play, our starting 5 offensive linemen should be Jones at left tackle, Siamalu at left guard, Frazier at center, McCormick at right guard, and Faiutanu at right tackle. Daniels should be on the bench. Me and Pace already had this conversation behind the scenes. To me, he looks washed. Nick Herbig is not a starting offensive center. And Dan Moore is just taking up space. So I think if we just get that starting 5 together on the O-line, everything will work its way out. That's my opinion.
Boy, Big G hate Dan Moore, boy. That boy cannot stand Dan Moore, boy, for nothing, man. Poor Dan Moore.
Right. So listen, I'm telling you right now. Hey, thanks, Mr. Woodsey. I think everybody in Steeler Nation is seeing what I'm seeing concerning the offensive line issues. And once the offensive line, Claude, I'm gonna send you something, Claude, just to let you know. Jones met with a doctor after the game. Pay'll back me up because I sent him the whole story. He met with a doctor after the game, and they're talking about whether or not they're going to shut him down for the rest of the preseason. He's got a left elbow injury. They don't know if it's a strain or a tear. But me and Pay also talked about that if it's that type of injury, that's a nagging injury that will be with him all season, and he won't have the ability to rehab the way he needs to. So it's one of those things that he's going to have to work through it, or we're going to shut him down and he gets the surgery. Pay, can you hit him with some facts, Claude, before I put Claude in the matrix?
I said to you yesterday when we talked about it after the Steel Curtain post-game show that he shouldn't even be playing in the preseason if you're hurt. If you're hurt and you got that type of and you need rest, if that's the number one remedy, you should not be playing. You should be doing individual work on the sideline. Putting you in the game, one, is detrimental to the team and its cohesion. 2, it's detrimental to your career. You're going to end up hurting it more, or end up, having to have surgery immediately. So I don't know what the issue is. I don't know why they're even playing this game around with that. Just go ahead and just sit down and just chill, and then come back ready for week 1. If you playing in a preseason game is not important for a veteran.
Yeah. But I'm going to ask the panel. Should go to the Matrix?
Here's the question.
Play injured. People play injured all the time.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's the point on that. Veterans don't play preseason unless their spot is in jeopardy. So it could be that he's playing to keep his spot. So therefore, they got him in. Yeah.
No way.
If you're saying they're mixing the lineup, then they're not sure who's going to play where, right?
The thing is, he's playing out of position. If Faiutanu, the rookie they drafted, didn't get hurt, he would be a right tackle. And yes, Jones would be in competition with Dan Moore for the left tackle. And then everybody would be in their proper positions. Now, if there were done, we think Jones should easily win a competition between Dan Moore, but there's no guarantees. I mean, you can remember Jones played 16, 17 games in Georgia and started like 8, 9 games for the Steelers last year. He's younger than the draft picks. He's younger than both Frazier and Fautanu.
That's facts.
So he still got some development to do. But that's why I think Tomlin needs to put him where he gonna play him and let him play at his spot and develop.
Good stuff.
Not this flipping around.
That's good stuff, Tate.
I can definitely tell he's playing out of position just based on that one play where he got thrown out the way and gave up that sack to Russell. He opened up with his second foot, was back foot late. He started moving his other foot out of muscle memory, like he's on the other side of the line. When I saw that,
it looked backwards.
It
looked backwards, didn't it, Pay?
Yeah,
it looked backwards. It looked like he was backwards. I agree, man. All right, so listen, Mod, we to the Cowboys segue, man. What's up with the Cowboys preseason, bro?
We scored our first touchdown, first 2 touchdowns actually in preseason. None of our starters on offense, mainly, of course, Jalen Tolbert is going to be a starter. And then a lot of the offensive line, but, the Dax, the Brandon Cooks, the Ezekiel Elliott's, they didn't play. They haven't played these last 2 games. And it's been good to see the twos play, and the twos are getting a lot of work. I'm going to tell you, the hardest thing for the Dallas Cowboys right now is there's going to be teams that get good defensive backs from us because we're going to have to cut some good defensive backs, bro. Like that defensive backfield is all that and then some. I mean, for real, because, Diggs and oh gosh, why am I blanking on his name right now? Number 26. Our other starting corners, they haven't played at all. And both of them, lead the league in interceptions. And one set the record for pick sixes in the season. So drawing a blank. And so they look good. The linebackers are looking faster than when. And I said this on a podcast that I'm putting up tomorrow, and I'll say it again with my chest. The linebacking crew is faster because of Overshown, because of Marist, and because of my guy that we brought in at middle linebacker. This is a different linebacking crew, and we got better with with the one trade that we made, and we brought in my guy from the Giants, and then we signed Carl Lawson at defensive end. That's going to help because we lost Sam Williams. So, I mean, when I look at it, right now, Zim is getting everything he needs. And that defensive backfield is really strong. And we're going to have to get rid of some people for that 53-man roster. Even if we put them on the practice team, there's going to be some guys that's going to be signed by other teams, and they're going to get some good ones. But I'm encouraged because I do believe that the defense is better than it has been in the last 2 years, especially when we see Micah and Tank and Deron and Diggs, everybody at their rightful position. This defense is better. It's going to be better than it has been in the last 2 years. I'm encouraged by that. Other thing that I'm encouraged by is we drafted another All-Pro, Austin, Texas. We got another one. We got another youngster. And I'm going to tell you something. When it comes down to it, Guyton is going to be that thing. He is going to be that thing. He's proven his worth. He's going to be that thing. And, of course, he got to line up against Miles at that first game in Cleveland. So you got some work to do. But
we're going to find out real quick, fast, in a hurry because he's going to have to put some respect on Miles' name right off the bat.
But he did good. He did good on what's the guy from Max Crosby. He did great on Max Crosby last night. Did really great. And last but not least, Deuce Vaughn looked good. Cooper Beebe because Cooper Beebe, Kansas, shout out to Afton, Kansas State product. He looks great. He's going to be our starting center. Cooper Beebe's going to be the starting center. And man, Austin, Texas, little bitty man, stand up again. Deuce Vaughn looked good, man. Deuce Vaughn had a couple of really great runs, but that running back room is stacked though. It's going to be hard for him to crack it. I don't know if I don't know if he makes the team, but this because he's been hurt all through preseason. But he looked good. He looked really, really good last night.
So the $1 million question for the Cowboys is, what is the deal with CeeDee Lamb? Because he ain't signed yet.
Yeah, but Jones made him a promise, $33 million a year.
And you believe Jerry Jones?
CD did come out and say he's going to play the first game of the year. So obviously he believes the promise. It doesn't matter if I believe him or not. CD believes him. You know what I mean? So, and I think a deal was imminent. I keep telling y'all, the only person that I think that may not sign is Dakota Rain Prescott. He's going to play this deal out. And, I mean, the Cowboys are stupid for allowing that to happen, but I think that's the only person that I see danger. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. I see that sign.
So it's T-minus 14 days and counting. I want to ask the whole panel, give me a percentage that CeeDee Lamb plays week 1 for the Cowboys. Give me a percentage right off the bat. The CeeDee Lamb plays week 1 for the Cowboys.
100%.
100%. Take Boy Fresh.
Excellent callback too, Mod. Lost in space.
Take Boy Fresh. Week 1, does CeeDee Lamb suit up for the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah, he has to.
All right.
I mean, no other answer other than that. He has to.
All right. Mod, and you're saying 100% he suits up.
The deal will be done in the next week or two. Deal will be done. You know what I'm saying? Deal will be done. You're crazy if you let CeeDee Lamb walk. Yeah, I mean, you're howling at the moon crazy.
Who said that Jerry Jones had any type of thought process? I mean, we're talking about Jerry Jones, one of the most outrageous, ridiculous owners that's ever been in the National Football League, and whose team, by the way, has not played in a conference finals since 1995.
Yeah, but
he got says every year it's all in.
He got a history of playing. Him and Steve and them got a history of paying folks. They're gonna pay him. You know what I'm saying? It's like I said, the only person that Dallas should be scared of at this point is Dakota Rain. And I mean, again, you don't find quarterbacks like him sitting on the bench or sitting on the couch. You know, regardless of your feelings about Dak Prescott, you know, the boy put up numbers and he's a good quarterback. And you don't find good quarterbacks in the NFL. Like, who's trading them? Who's letting those quarterbacks go? Nobody.
I mean, I hear you, but like I said, I would, if I was a Cowboys fan, I would be concerned after this next preseason game. If he's not there, if he's not signed, there's an issue because he's letting it linger on too long. And who knows with Jerry Jones? Who knows?
He's gonna play. He's gonna play. He's gonna be there for the first week, even if he's not gonna get done before next preseason game. He's gonna be there for game 1 when who they go against the first week? The Browns. When they go into Cleveland, he gonna be at by your crib, BG. He gonna be there suited up in that number 88 uniform.
I feel it, man. Hey, I see the comments. So we have some folks that said 65, 75%, 100%. I love this comment, man, from Mr. Woodside. He said, Jones is crazy, but he ain't that crazy. CD is the real deal. Jerry Jones is the new Al Davis. Absolutely. Ronald Blake said, CeeDee Lamb at home listening to the Temptations. Don't let the Jones get you down. Big facts, bro. Yeah, for sure. And Dennis Pavlock says, man, Cowboy fans are really concerned if CD isn't playing week 1. That's absolutely true, man.
He is playing.
Hey, fella.
The bigger concern to me is what Mike Brown's gonna do with Jamar Chase.
Hey, I think that.
See, CeeDee Lamb getting $33 million is slotted perfectly. They arguing over the amount of years. It sounds like.
Yeah.
To me, Jamar Chase should jump right up there with Justin Jefferson. Pay the man.
Yeah.
Facts. And that's gonna be Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is worth every cent, every dollar. CD is gonna get 33. That's right up under JJ.
Right,
so you know,
fair.
Yeah. You know, Jamal's fixing to come.
I got CeeDee Lamb being like at the 4 or 5 receiver, so that's right where he should be.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Jamar Chase is number 2, number 1A or 1B with Justin Jefferson.
Absolutely. And they're gonna have to back up the Brinks truck for him. I guarantee it.
Hey, so listen, y'all, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to pause for the calls on the KnoItAllz podcast. If you're watching us live on YouTube, thanks for rocking with us this week. If you're listening to us on audio, wherever you get your audio podcast, we'll be right back after a 10-second break with the KnoItAllz podcast. And we're back with the KnoItAllz podcast in the building. Tate Boy Fresh, my boy Payday, my boy Mob, man. We talking football. Fellas, we're going to stay on the same subject, man, but we just got to have a little quick segue for the new look, revamped Atlanta Falcons, man. We talked about this on multiple different platforms, multiple different shows. Hey, man, the Falcons are a real deal, bro. So I'm going to swing it to Tate first, man. Tate, the Steelers got the Falcons week 1. How concerned now that Simmons and Judon are with the Falcons and old boy Kirk Cousins down there throwing dimes, man? How concerned are you, bro?
It got harder. Damn.
Yeah. Hey, I'm looking for it right now, but no doubt. No diddy, no doubt. Yeah. Big facts. Yes, sir.
It got more difficult.
Yeah.
Week 1 got more difficult. And I think I'm gonna change my pick last week because with different information you can make different choices, different decisions. So
facts.
I'm gonna pick the Atlanta Falcons now to win the division, just because that defense is gonna be really tough. I think though that week 1 the Steelers can get it together and get their run game going. I think that they still should win that game. I think Kirk Cousins is going to be lunch meat sitting there in the pocket. They just got to go eat their lunch. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at with that. Because Kirk Cousins ain't going to be moving and being on the run and stuff with that. We're coming back from that Achilles, so he's going to be right. He's going to be right there at home. Just go get him.
Yeah.
Hey, but let me ask you a question.
Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
Here's my deal. When I think about this, and I'm thinking, I love what Tate said because y'all got some ravenous wolves over there on defense. I mean, when y'all at full speed, that's a top 5 defense. My thought process runs on this. I don't know how long Kirk Cousins is going to be able to. I mean, they paid him all this money, and aside from him being hurt, keeping Penix off the field is going to be hard. That's going to be a hard deal. Penix looks all right. And,
they shut Penix down for the rest of the preseason. He's done.
They did. Yeah, the reason why they did is they've seen enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Kirk is solid enough to do his thing, and Tate is right. I mean, the y'all going to be licking y'all chops to catch him in the pocket, but Penix is another deal.
Hey, so I'm going to pause on the subject. I'm going to answer Rob Lightfoot's question. Big G, whose fault is it the wide receivers are filled on a missed touchdown pass? The wide receivers stopped running. As a matter of fact, I had an opportunity to look at about 3 minutes of the All-22 film this morning. I will watch the rest of it sometime between tonight and tomorrow. But what I know already, the wide receiver stopped the route. He paused, and he killed his own opportunity to get a touchdown pass.
Fields' fault mostly. I mean, maybe he throttled down. I don't know. I didn't watch it more than the replays of the game, but Fields should have put more air under it and threw him more to the left pylon, corner pylon, threw it over that way, let him run under it. Yeah. He put it too much on the rope.
Yeah, man.
Hey, I'm gonna swing over to you, man. Is the Atlanta Falcons a problem, bro?
Problem for their division. That's about it, and because their division is not good. Problem for the league? Absolutely not. Let me tell you something. The best quarterback in the division before Kirk got there was Baker Mayfield. He got kicked out of the AFC North. Not a good division. Not a good division whatsoever. I will eat nasty Waffle House food off the pavement of Lower Wacker Drive in Chicago before the Falcons ever do anything good. I have no belief in their system. I have no belief in their team. Yeah, there's some nice moves. I actually wanted Matt Judon and a couple of players they have, but I have no faith that they can put it all together. Falcons, they probably one game better.
Hey,
9-win team.
Pay wasn't y'all in contention to get Judon? Y'all was supposed to get Judon.
But they tried to hold us up because Ryan Poles has a history of overpaying for players and trades. Let's just leave it at that. I don't want to go down the path of that. But he has a history of overpaying for players. So they tried to stick the Bears up. We need a second round pick for Mr. Judon, who's 32 and coming off an injury season. Not gonna happen.
Hey, Pay. You said one game better.
One game better.
One game better than the Bears?
No, one game better for their season outlook. These moves, I give them one game better.
Get your receipt book. I got the Bears. Atlanta having a better record than the Bears. And I got the Bears going to the playoffs. So what's that telling you?
I've got the Falcons going to the playoffs as a 9-win team.
I got the Falcons going to the playoffs as an 11-win team. I got the Bears going to.
Okay.
I got your bet. Is
that a quarter time bet or is that what we going?
Hey, Big G. Big G. I'm realistic. Ain't no push-ups with me. So it's a corner time bet unless he want to put some cash on it.
No, this is the know-it-alls, and as a know-it-all, we face the corner. We put our nose in the crook of that corner. So 15 minutes. Bears versus Falcons. Who has the better record?
Ooh, I like it. Spicy.
Mod. This week, Falcons added pieces. Where you at with them? Because on our show last week, I picked the Falcons off the rip. Tate done switched up. He done seen the light. Are you coming over to the light, or are you joining Claude in the Matrix?
I totally switch up. I mean, with new information, you got new information. You have to go that way. I mean, Judon Simmons, they added to the defense, which was already decent. You know what I'm saying? And like Pay said, that defense, I mean, that division, I mean, Baker went to the playoffs last year, but, I don't expect that to happen.
It could have won. Baker could have won that game. Detroit and Tampa Bay was going at it.
I mean,
that was a great game.
A blind squirrel find a nut every once in a while. It is what it is. It's one of the things. Dumb luck happens. Look at Forrest Gump. But when you talk about it, the only other team that really can give them some type of contending is the Saints. But I think Atlanta wins that division now with what they've done and how they look offensively. I think the maturity is going to come. Do I feel like they're going to win a lot of games? I think they're at least 3 games better. I think they're at least 3 games better than they were last year. So
what, they were 7-10, so you got them 10-7. You got them flipping it.
Yeah, and that's basement. That's basement. That's basement for me. They
look like 5 voted, man.
They're gonna have 5 wins in their division.
Oh. So you're only going for one loss in the division?
They're gonna split with probably either the Saints or Tampa Bay. They're gonna split with one of them, but they're gonna sweep Carolina, and then they're gonna sweep one of the other ones and split with the one. Yeah, 5-1 in the division.
I think same thing. I think they split with New Orleans. I agree, Tate.
Hey, listen. Running through the jungle, Beat Earth said Atlanta got rid of that FedEx offense too. I don't know if they got rid of it or not, but they definitely have a quarterback now. They have multiple quarterbacks, multiple receivers, and a good running back.
The FedEx offense is alluding to Arthur Smith's dad owns FedEx.
Yeah.
Arthur Smith comes from money. He out here grinding on the football coaching circuit because that's what he wants to do. He don't got to do nothing.
Yeah, that's big facts. All right, fellas. So I got one last topic. We're going to come back to the NFL at the end of the show with our fantasy football preview and talk, right? But I got one last topic about the NFL. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm seeing it wrong. But I have seen more injuries in this preseason than you can shake a stick at. Maybe it's just recency bias. But guys are falling out left and right, man. And I just want to get you guys' takes and thoughts on, because we know football going football. But is it really worth it when we see some of these injuries when guys are out for the season, like quarterbacks and running backs, and wide receivers. It's just a little different this year. And maybe I don't know if it's because guys are in shape. I don't know.
Big G, I think it's just more noticeable because more noticeable guys. And that, I mean, with the Cowboys last year, we lost Overshown. We lost our big tight end last year. We lost Diggs, all of them at the beginning of the season. The injuries. Injuries are a part of football. You hate it, but it's just a part of the game. And it hasn't changed. I don't think that preseason has anything to do with it. If you ask me, I think it's because, you know, ninjas ain't really went to train the way that they should have. And the people who are really training for the season are the ones that stay healthy the whole year. The ones like you see like you know, where you see them going to put in overall, like LeBron. I can say this about LeBron James. LeBron James put money into his body. That's why he stays healthy. That's why he's playing at 90. You know what I'm saying? You have players like that, and they do that. That's where you see the difference. So I don't think it's any different than it is from year to year. It's just more noticeable guys that fail.
Tate, what you thinking, man? This injury bug, is this just footballing, or is it a little different, bro?
It's footballing, man. I mean, I think athletes in today's sports, athletics, push themselves much harder and can do much more. So, you know, we talked about this last week. Mine said in the Olympics, the 992 would have won it 30 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, but in 2024, you finished last.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
but that's, you know, my bias with all of that, because everything is better. I mean, better for LeBron James being better than Michael Jordan. So I got to call a bias on that, bro. Got to call a bias on it.
What did I just say? I just used LeBron as a point of reference. I have reverence for LeBron James. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
He put the Star Spangled Banner up in his background, man. When he
didn't do that. His Apple did. You don't know nothing about that, Big G.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that.
But no, I was saying that. So you know, a lot of soft tissue injuries because hamstrings is being pushed to the limit. You know, you got athletes running at 21.
Oh, okay. Tate, stop right there. If you have a hamstring issue, what is that a sign of?
A soft tissue injury.
Right, but what had they not been doing during the off season?
Oh, it don't mean that. I think they work out more in the off season than they ever did before.
It absolutely means that every athlete you see come into camp with it. Okay.
I think athletes work year round now. So it could be the pushing of those muscles too much cause that stuff. Athletes work way more. Back 30, 40 years ago, these jokers leave football season, be drinking 12 packs, probably smoking cigarettes, doing all
in the locker room.
Eating pizza and hot dog every night.
In the locker room.
No more, right. They don't do that no more. It's definitely the athletes today condition and work out more than athletes ever did before in the past.
Yeah, but if you remember the interview we had with Chris Houston, he alluded to this. The athletes who get paid the most are the ones that can put more money into their body, right? And in
today's world, they do put money into their bodies,
right?
To enhance work, just the regular workout, just me working out by myself. Hey, Pay, I know that's your comment. I know it's your comment paid us up, but you got a phone right now that's broken. You using the Apple phone you got. You got two phones, right? You got one that's broken, one that's working, and the one you use is the Apple.
And I still always reach for my Samsung because, like, damn it, that is the superior device. I have muscle memory. I'm used to reaching for the superior device, but I'm hanging on by a thread with this Apple device that I had to.
You ain't having no problem. You have no problem with it. I get everything you seeing.
I want to get this to Pay, man, because Pay, as right now, Pay's still doing athletic training. Pay's working people out. Pay's actually in pretty good physical shape. And I think if Pay had to actually participate in a sport out of the panel, He would show up and show out early.
Big G, you probably right in comparison to all of us, but Pay almost 40 years old, bro. So don't put him too far up there. And he's not LeBron James.
I'm just saying. I think he's got a little bit of insight. So Pay, right now, is what's going on in football, man. Why are we seeing these injuries, or am I just seeing something, man?
I don't think it's an uptick in soft tissue injuries based on lack of training or bad diets, anything like that. It's just every year it's the same thing. You have your freak injuries, and then you'll have a few pulls here and there. It's a roll of the dice playing football.
Big G, put it up.
It's a roll of the dice.
Few pulls here and there.
Yeah. Man, we need that graphic bad, man. We got to get that because that's a no diddy, no doubt right there, man. No diddy, no doubt, for sure. But go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Hamstring injuries, for an example, it's not necessarily how much you train your hamstrings. It's how pliable you are. It's how much you stretch, how much hydration you get in. I would think that a hamstring injury that we've seen is more directly affected by being dehydrated. Right. It's hot out. It's hot all over the country. It's easy to lose the amount of water you need in your body versus
and on average, Paige, just to interject real quick while you're saying that, it's on average it's hotter in 2024 than it was in 1990.
This is true. This is true. And the reason why I say what I say ain't just because I'm just guessing, right? I was me and Ray, we grew up together, so I got a chance to watch the type of work he put in. Every morning getting up, stretching, riding a bike for I think it was like 3 miles, then going out running another 5. You have to run all the time. You got to keep your muscles stretched. You have to be pliable, like Pay said. And then, of course, you're right. I think what you said, the heat does affect you as far as dehydration is concerned. And it's been hot. And so, especially if you're practicing in places, that the temperature climbs, like, and y'all don't have indoor facilities. Yeah.
Right. Hey, I want to say this too, man. I'm going to give everybody an update too. Jaylen Warren has not had no official update for the Pittsburgh Steelers concerning his hamstring injury. My feet on the ground and the people that I'm hearing stuff from said it's not serious, but from a precautionary standpoint, they're going to hold him out until the regular season and work through. Because hamstring injuries, like the panel has said, are lingering. So normally you got to be very careful because they go on and on and on and on. So not only do you have to rest, not only do you have to hydrate, but you also got to work that issue out because it's a soft tissue issue, which you don't want to tear. That's the thing you don't want, because a tear is going to shut it down for the season. So as of right now, there's no update. Peyton Wilson also, by the way, did nothing happen to his knees or his legs. Peyton Wilson's in concussion protocol right now by the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we'll know something here. He's probably not going to play for about 2 weeks.
Y'all didn't see that? Hey, man, when he did it.
Yeah, his foot got stepped on and he fell sideways, and when he fell sideways, a guy hit him helmet on helmet. That's how he got the concussion, and they put him in concussion protocol. And that's why the trainer kept grabbing him, because Peyton wanted to go back over to his linebacker coach and say, "Hey, look, I'm ready to go." And the trainer said, "Nah, you going in the tent." And the only way they couldn't get him back in the game is they had to put him in the locker room and take his helmet from him.
Yeah, his name was Batman. His name was Batman for a little bit.
He said he's willing to die on the football field. What do you expect from a guy like that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so any last news and notes before we get off of right now the NFL, because we'll be back to it later on. Anything anybody wants to talk about before we close out the NFL section and move on? Tate, Mod, Pay, anybody?
Jay Steve said he pulled a hamstring in North Middle School. That was a young hamstring to be pulling. That's all I'm saying. North Middle School.
Hey, Jay Steve, me and Tate had this conversation, and nobody heard this conversation, but I'm gonna put it out there. During my era, North only had like 4 dudes that came over there that was dogs. Kevin Capers, Bobby Thompson. No, I mean Bobby Johnson, Marcus Wright, and maybe cut the deck.
And Greg Shaley.
Greg Shaley. Outside of that, nah, there wasn't no. The dogs came from West and South. So I understand about North, but nah.
B-Dirt said if he dies, he dies. The quote from Rocky.
That's how Peyton Wilson feels. Peyton Wilson said he's going to do everything he got to do on the field to make sure that he helps the Pittsburgh Steelers show success this season.
Big G, you was going, as far as the football section go, you was going to take ROY picks for the AFC and NFC.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about it. So let's hear it. Tate, you started off. ROY for the AFC and NFC.
It's just one rookie of the year.
Yeah, but I want to know who's your front runner for the AFC. Who's your front runner?
For rookie of the year, it probably in the AFC. Wow, I don't even know those good rookies in the AFC.
That's what?
Well, everyone I'm thinking of is the NFC. My top 3 or 4 is in the NFC.
Okay.
So I don't process down to 5th and 6th place.
Okay.
But taking my
so
boy
let's do this. Let's just do. You say, whoa, rookie of the year. You're taking Peyton Wilson for the Steelers.
I picked that on home the other night. Defensive player of the year, Peyton Wilson.
All right. Who's your offensive player of the year? Rook.
Offensive player of the year is Caleb Williams, Chicago Bears.
All right. Got it. Payday. Who you got? Defensive player of the year, offensive player of the year as rookies in this 2024 season.
I'm not going to deviate too far from what I said on Friday, just like Tate. I got defense. Or you said AFC or all over? All
over. Who you got for your defensive rookie of the year and your offensive rookie of the year?
Defensive rookie of the year, I'm going to stick with Dallas Turner out of Minnesota. And offensive rookie of the year, Caleb. The C in Caleb stands for the chosen one. Claws up.
Okay. Mod, who you got, bro?
I think it's unanimous, Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams. I think it's unanimous. That's that Nathan Gurley thing in us that come out where we just murder everybody's name.
That's a big fact, yeah.
And you know what? I hear what man. I got to side with him only because of the simple fact that the boy's a dog, and I just seen him. Dallas Turner. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I just see him being the dog. I just see him being, even though I don't think Minnesota's going to be very good this year, because of the injuries that they went. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Dallas Turner.
So one of these things is doing their own thing, and that would be Big G this week. I'm not taking Caleb Williams as Rookie of the Year offensive. I'm taking Jaden Daniels, quarterback, Washington Commanders. I think he wins Rookie of the Year this year for the NFL. And I'm sticking with my pick of Chop Robinson, man. I think Chop Robinson is going to have outstanding football for the Miami Dolphins this year at that defensive end, outside linebacker. And you pair him up with Chubb, and you pair him up with Phillips, and you pair him up with some of the other guys they got across that defensive line. And I think Chop and the linebacker crew, Chop is going to cause some problems this year for the Miami Dolphins, man. All right, fellas.
Did you see Nick Herbig the other night?
Hey, man. Tate, I'll say this, and I said this, I've already been out of the street saying it. The linebacking crew that we have in Pittsburgh might be the best linebacking crew in the whole NFL. Too deep. Too deep.
Oh well, for four linebackers, 3-4, I would agree. But I only bring that up because I say he gonna have more sacks than Chop Robinson. We got corner time bet on that.
Well, that's a big loss for you, bro. Because Herbert, he ain't gonna get the snaps. He ain't gonna get the snaps, bro. I'm not,
He gonna be heavy in the rotation. They're gonna keep them three fresh.
Yeah, Highsmith, Herbig, Moon, T.J. Watt, Peyton Wilson, Patrick Queen, Orlando Roberts. Hey, man, we got dogs, man. We have dogs. at linebacker. I think that's the strength of the Steelers defense.
That's why last night's game don't really alarm me. I mean, offense got a ton of work to do, but we know how to win games defensively and win ugly too.
Yeah. Live chat.
Facts.
I just want to know who you guys like for defensive rookie of the year and offensive rookie of the year. I see right now somebody said Drake May. Dennis Pavlak said Drake May. He said it won't be Drake.
Dennis. Hold on. It's not Drake May only because of the Caleb that exists. But I think Drake May is going to do decent this year.
He said I know for sure it ain't going to be Drake.
And what I'm saying to him is hold up. Don't count your eggs too soon, because I'm saying to you, Drake May. Only because it's not.
He ain't gonna start.
Okay.
He ain't gonna start.
Okay.
Drake May, big trash.
That's big facts. And y'all, we have a miracle. Me and Claude Bishop have agreed, maybe for the first time in KnoItAllz history, that Claude Bishop is riding with me with Chop Robinson and riding with me with Jalen Daniels. I can't believe it.
Of course, Chop Robinson is Penn State.
The stars have aligned.
It's Penn State. Of course, he's gonna say I agree with you, Big G.
Hey,
and back to Drake May, he just another Mitch Trubisky out of North Carolina picked way too early because of his stature, his measurables, and all that stuff.
Hey, I'm gonna get him. He said, "Pay saying boo from them North Carolina stands." Drake, get him, man. Go jump in and get him.
It probably hurt Pay that Mitch Trubisky was trash.
Drake May got an arm. Got an arm. I don't care what you say.
It hurt me that Mitch was not as good as he should have been to trade up for to get him in the draft when Patrick Mahomes is sitting right there. That's what hurts me. But no, Drake May is a lot better than Sam Howell, who was very good in North Carolina, and he's a lot better than Mitch Trubisky, who was also very good in North Carolina. Drake May comes from good stock. Drake May is going to be a good quarterback for New England, but he's not going to be a good quarterback this season. I mean, he's going to be an okay quarterback. He's going to be an upgrade, but Drake May is not going to. He's not. Well, he's going to play, but he's not going to start.
We after their bye. He ain't gonna play enough to win Rookie of the Year. No,
definitely not. Jacoby, they already said Jacoby's gonna start week 1. But yeah, Drake. I have full confidence that Drake May is going to pan out and be a decent starter in the NFL.
Decent, worth the number 3 pick. Decent.
Subjective.
Peter said, "Right that Marvin Harrison Jr. of Wolverine cheering for a Buckeye. Oh man, it must be raining." Cows and upside down pink bears.
He picked him, Big G. He picked him. He ain't cheering for him. He ain't pulling no pom-poms out. Juju's not coming back to Pitt.
Yeah, that's not happening, Tim Lyons. That you can kiss the baby. Never. Juju's done in the league, in my opinion.
Say it before we leave. Patrick Mahomes, the behind the back pass. Did we all see that?
Yeah.
I loved it. And I also saw Xavier Worthy act a dog yesterday too. Big happy about that.
Why you happy about that? You don't like the Chiefs? Oh,
you know why?
Bias. Yeah, I was just that's what I was leading into.
You know why? All right, so fellas, this is part 1 of the KnoItAllz podcast. If you're watching us live on YouTube, we're gonna pause. We're gonna switch over to part 2 of the KnoItAllz podcast. If you're listening to us on audio, wherever you get your audio podcast, make sure you swing back, share with a friend, and get this audio podcast going for the KnoItAllz podcast. We'll be right back for part 2 of the KnoItAllz podcast live on Sunday on Fans First Sports Network, and you know how we get out on the KnoItAllz channel. back with the KnoItAllz podcast live on Sunday. Big G, Tate Boy Fresh, Payday special guest, and my boy Mod on the road traveling out there in them streets, man. Fellas, what's cracking? And let's get to part 2, man. But I'm going to say what's cracking to all y'all first. What's going on, man?
Hey, man.
Yes, sir.
I will be so glad when football season starts and we just got to show the length of the window of the end of the afternoon game going into the night game. That 45, 50-minute sweet spot. That's where I want to be.
Hey, we're going to be there. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. You know what? I do have to say this. I don't hand these out too often, but I got to do it, bro. Tate, you cooking today, bro. Like, for real, you really cooking. I don't know if it's the addition of pay being here that's making you step it up. Hey, man, for real. When I say you cooking, bro. You cooking today.
I appreciate it, man, but I'm cooking every week, every show I do. I'm the. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna change my name right there from Tate and Tate Boy Fresh to Voice of Reason. That's what I'm gonna change it to.
I mean, I don't know about that. What I would say is that today, you Bobby Flay, you cooking today, brother. You are doing it. You still chefing today.
Right now, we just leave it at thank you.
All right, fellas, listen.
Hey, Pay, we good. It's good to have you on the show, bro. I appreciate you. Here's the thing that I need to get from you today, like right now, today. Oh, right now, because I haven't heard it. I haven't listened to the homies, and because I'm working during that time. Who is your eventual AFC champion?
Ooh, put me on the spot. 6 months early. I still think. I don't think Kansas City. Well, I do think Kansas City is still the best team until otherwise proven. But I do think they've been taking gradual steps back each of the last 2 seasons. But that didn't stop them from winning again last year. I do not think they return to the Super Bowl this season. I will be hard pressed. I will do 25 push-ups if they do return to the Super Bowl.
Whoa!
I want 100. I want 100. But go ahead.
So you'll take you're saying anybody else but the Chiefs will make it back to the Super Bowl?
I would definitely bet the field that over the Chiefs to return to the Super Bowl. Yes, I would do that.
So if they do, I'll get 100 from you.
All right, if you want that bet, all right, yeah.
What does Pay get from you, though, Mod? What does Pay get from you?
What do you want from me, Pay? If they don't?
No, it's KnoItAllz. It's KnoItAllz Sunday. You can just face the corner.
All right, I get.
How much time?
15. 30.
No, for 100 push-ups?
For 100 push-ups?
Pay can do.
No way.
He can do 100. He can do 100 in his sleep. That's helping him.
Pay, call the number out. Pay. Don't get him. Let him off that easy.
Peer pressure. You gotta give me 30. You gotta give me 30, Mod.
I got you.
So if Kansas City don't go to the Super Bowl, who wins?
I would say right now, I think the team that there's a
bet. He's on the bet.
Oh no, I think the field.
You got the field.
Yeah.
And Ma got Kansas City.
Ma got Kansas City.
Oh, Ma, you doing them 30?
Yeah.
Hey, Big G, while Pay talking, put up the Quad Father's last comment, man.
Hey, but Pay, who do you say win that AFC?
I think it's a two-team race as of right now. I think Baltimore hasn't regressed in any large, noticeable way. They're still in the conversation.
Except they lost their defensive coach. They lost some offensive linemen. They lost 2 other position coaches.
They lost a linebacker. They've lost some players They've lost some players that were replaced, but they lost a coach. They lose coaches every year. In no noticeable way have they regressed. I would say Baltimore's in the conversation, and I would say, I kind of think Houston. I kind of think Houston's right there.
Y'all a year early on Houston, but they are good.
We might be a year early, but I want to throw this number out there to you, Tate. There has been, I think, 11 head coaches that took their team to the Super Bowl in their second year. This is number 2. This is year 2 for DeMeco Ryans.
That's big facts. That's big facts, man. And listen, Houston is the real deal.
All right,
Houston's the real deal.
Pay your NFC to the Super Bowl.
NFC to the Super Bowl. I think that path is a little bit clearer. I think the best team in the NFC is definitely San Francisco. They have to win it this year. They have no choice because it's the last dance for them. San Francisco with a bullet is the number one team. I think Detroit is still is an outside looking in. They're about a rung lower than San Francisco is, even though they played them real tough last year. I don't think they're on their level just yet. But the Detroit Lions is good. Another team that's on the same level with Detroit would be coming out of your division, Mod. Coming out of NFC, NFC East? I don't want to say Dallas because I kind of think Dallas has regressed this offseason. Just in a couple of ways, but I think Philadelphia proves to everybody that was a minor misstep at the end of last season. I think getting rid of their coach, getting rid of their offensive play caller, getting some new philosophy in that building is going to help them out. I think this might be a big season for Jalen Hurts. Write that down for all my fantasy football players. I think he's going to have another MVP type of season. Maybe not as good as his best season a couple of years ago, but I think he's going to show everybody that it wasn't a fluke. He's going to put that team back on his back, and they're going to be right there with the Lions to challenge the San Francisco Niners for supremacy in that conference.
Hey, so just real quick for all of our Steelers, breaking news. It's been officially noted that Nick Herbig had a complete tear in the rotator cuff. Nate Herbig, center, might be out for the season. We don't know officially as of yet, but he has a torn rotator cuff and it's going to be out for a significant amount of time for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hey, so listen, fellas. We're going to get to this baseball talk. Tate, you gave up on the Reds, bro. You said you was done with them last time we was on the KnoItAllz. I want to know, are you back on the bandwagon, bro? Because the Reds been playing well, and they look like that they might try to do something, bro.
Yeah, that was all before they lost 3 straight to the Kansas City Royals this weekend. So I'm back off. They're back off. It's not happening.
They're cooked. They're cooked. It's over. It's adios, muchachos.
Hey, every time I start to believe them a little bit, man, they let me down. They go into a series with a good Royals. The Royals are 13-1 against the Chicago White Sox.
Fact.
So you take that off their resume, they a 500 team.
They lost the game to the White Sox?
They did lose the game to the White Sox.
And the White Sox need everything.
I agree, Thomas.
The White Sox are 800 games under 500.
He said 800. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, man. So Kansas City's a beatable team, and you played in home. You let them sweep you, like you let the Marlins sweep you a few weeks back. You know what I mean? They beat good teams. They lose to the teams they should beat. I'm done.
He's done with them.
Hey, before I get off here, because I'm getting ready to go, you guys, and let y'all finish it. I do want to tell everybody, hey, fantasy football is about to start. We start our league on next week on the 25th, and I'm still trying to get into this next league. But I want to get into the league with Tate and G. But G was tripping. He was complaining last year. Wouldn't let Tate add 2 more teams because he knows
we ain't doing no 14 teams. We ain't doing no 14 teams.
Pay also was crying, man. Pay also was crying about it.
We got to do something about all the snitching that goes on these shows. We got to get something correct on it. That wasn't a dry. That wasn't a dry. That was direct. He went right to the preseason, said, "Officer, that man right there. That man right there did it."
He did.
That's full snitch. Full snitching, man. But no, we ain't doing no 14 teams, man. That's too much.
Look,
we ain't doing no 14.
I got the paperwork too, Pay. I got the paperwork. And that man right there, the light-skinned brother right over the top of me, he the one that said he didn't want me in the league because it was too many teams.
14
No,
teams, man, is trash.
I'm direct snitching too. Pay said it too. Pay and G might have been two of the biggest culprits.
Yeah, you know.
Hey,
Everybody else.
Hey, we're going to give each other a virtual hand bump. Because, yeah, we ain't doing no 14 dang on teams. Get that big trash out of here. We ain't doing that.
It was out for everybody listening. It was less than a week for the draft. Like, and then you say, all right, we're gonna go from 12 to 14. Like, whoa, that's a whole different ball game. I said I was fine. I want you to correctly tell the story. I was against 14 teams, but I'm fine with it if I knew well in advance. There's less than 1 week to prepare for that. That's a different strategy because I like to win, obviously, because I'm the defending champ. I got to strategize.
Oh, you got a chip. So do I. I got a chip in that same league that I'm trying to come back to. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody in here got a chip, dog.
And get
what
a
you
chip.
Talking about?
Everybody here got a chip, but some of us got two.
Yeah, some of us do got two, and that's Tate. He got 2 hours there.
That's big life, Tate. That's big life.
Pay got two. Last year was a second.
That's big.
Oh, okay.
That's big life.
But look here. I will say this: that we're good people to listen to as it becomes to the issue of fantasy football. Make sure you listen because these guys are going to talk about it later on in the show. I absolutely thank everybody in the chat to being here. All of our chat generals, everybody was saying what they said. Yes, sir.
Well, why don't you go ahead and hit us with your Mars moments before you go?
Man, I can do that.
We need that. We need that. Amen.
I got you. We could definitely do that. But I want, like I said, thank everybody in the chat. I thank Pat Pace for coming in, being here with us. Definitely, we need the three voices to always speak on the Know-It-Alls. He's part of the Know-It-All team. B-Dirt for being in the chat. We love you guys, for real. And look, man, I mean, I wasn't planning on doing a mods moment, but I'm going to tell you, you're only as strong as your team. We've been talking about the preseason and what's important about the preseason, the second and the third team. Why is that important? A 53-man roster is only as strong as not the first 11 and on offense, the first 11 on defense. The second 11 on offense and the second 11 on defense are the most important part of every team because it's always going to come a time when somebody is going to be down and out and they're going to have to depend on the needs of somebody else behind them and they're going to have to carry them. It takes a strong team to carry them over to a championship. And our team is strong. Make sure that you surround yourself with strong people. I gave you homework a couple of weeks ago and I said, hey, evaluate the 5 friends that you have around you and look, because literally those 5 people are who's pressing you towards your destiny or who's keeping you away from it. And I'm telling you, a strong team, it has people around them who can pick it up and go just as hard as the people in front. And they can also go, when they're called on, they can be the people in front. So make sure that you keep a strong team, be accountable to the people around you, and also be there for the people that you've been called to. That's Mod's Moments, man. And definitely, that's why I'm here. Tate set a precedent. He was on the phone. He made sure he showed up. Hey, I had something to do that was pressing. I had to get to it. So I'm on the phone. I had to make sure that I show up. I love you all. Big G, I'm out. Pay, I'm out. Tate, I'll holler at you. We good. Peace.
Holla. All right, fellas. Thanks, Mod. Pay and Tate. I just want the fans to know, because we don't never get an opportunity to talk this. For you guys that don't know, we're talking about being dry snitches. I'm a straight up snitch. There's a bet that goes on between Pay and Tate every year between the Cubs and the Reds. It's always for big bread. It's always for pride. It's always for bragging rights. Y'all, it's close this year. I want to see if we can get some furniture moving around between the Cubs and the Reds this year.
Big G, I already won for the year. He could get some back.
I won all the money last year, but it ain't close this year.
I could win all the money this year.
I'm trying not to get swept. My Cubs, they're disappointing. $255 million for disappointment I don't get it.
But aren't they close in the standings? Aren't the Cubs and the Reds very close in the standings right now?
I think they're tied or one game away from each other.
Exactly. So I'm saying, I mean, that's a payoff too at the end. That's a payoff.
Yeah, but I've paid them. I've made like 3 separate deposits already. Yeah, I've made 3 separate deposits to his Cash App already. The most I can do is get back 2.
The Cubs are ahead by half a game.
Oh, so you can get 2 back. Pay the A. I'm just saying. He need the Cubs to win the last season series, and the Cubs have a better record, and he get 2 of them back. Yep.
But if they lose the last season series, then we're gonna break even on the last 2 bets because I win that one, and he can only hope that they have a better record at the time.
I have no faith in the Cubs right now. They've lost all the faith out of me. I'm surprised that I've canceled my Sirius XM subscription early this year because I can't continue this. I have no point in doing this with them.
Got it. All right, fellas, we're gonna switch real quick. WNBA is back in effect. Hey, man, Caitlin Clark, man, I don't know. You know what? I'm at a loss of words, and I know that sounds like a miracle. Caitlin Clark is out there destroying the league, bro. Like, she is the real deal. So I just want to know, fellas, you know, is it a wrap? Is the MVP a wrap? Is it all Clark and nobody else got a shot? Is it Wilson? Is it Reese? Who gonna get the MVP?
Caitlin Clark's not winning the MVP.
Yeah, she's not. It's a race for Rookie of the Year. Yeah,
I told you Rookie of the Year a month or so ago that it won't. We had this conversation a few times about Rookie of the Year between her and Angel. I told you it was. She's going to win that going away, even though Angel made it close. And since they've come back from their Olympic break, she's only furthered the gap. She had a 29-10 game. She broke, as you just spoke about, she broke the record for most assists for a rookie. She has the only triple-double for a rookie in league history. She's a baller.
That's facts, Peter. More information can change your opinion. And then just like how we said earlier, and we got more information, and my opinion has definitely changed.
Hey, B Dirt, he always got to come around eventually. You know, that's Big G. Go out there, jump on the ledge, take them burners, and then you know, I'd say 40% of the time he get reeled in and like, oh yeah, I probably was out there too fast on that one.
Well, I never said she was trash. I just said she was a cash cow. But she's showing to me that she should be in the argument for the MVP of the league, not just Rookie of the Year. I'm talking about league MVP.
You certainly
her numbers is unbelievable.
Came around a long way on that one. My question is, how many WNBA teams make the playoffs?
8.
So right now, the Fever are 7, the Sky are in 8.
I think it's locked. I think the Sky's going. I don't think any of the last 4 teams have a shot. To be honest, Atlanta, no, they're not a good team. Even though they're only like 2 games.
Oh yeah, two games behind the Sky and the Dream. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Atlanta is not a good team. they're not going to make the playoffs. They are too injury riddled, just like the Washington Mystics in your neck of the woods. Tate, they've lost too many games to injury. They're not. It's a wrap. So I think the top 8 you see now is the top 8 that's going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, man. Look at the markets is out though. The Atlanta, Washington, LA, Dallas. Yeah.
Dallas got a squad, but they lost too many games to injury.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the WNBA playoffs. I'm going to actually watch, just like I watch the NBA playoffs, I'm watching the WNBA playoffs.
Look what Rob Lightfoot said.
I don't think so, Rob, but Big G kind of got a connection with Dan Moore, so maybe he will come around on him.
Yeah, I sort of do, something like that. But I'm not coming around on Dan Moore, man. Dan Moore's to the bench. All right, so listen, fellas, we got one more topic before we get to the fantasy football, and we're going to do this topic Then we're going to take a break and come back and finish it off. It's T-minus 4 days and counting. Week 0 for college football. Florida State, Georgia Tech, plus some other games, man. It's finally here, fellas. Hey, you're the guest on the show. You never really get an opportunity to really dig into college football takes, man. So I just want to get a quick one from you. What are you looking forward to this college football season, bro?
I'm looking forward to see, will Miami continue to be the laughing stock, the overhyped laughing stock of the ACC? They've got they put together a decent roster now. They've got some good recruits coming in. The NIL is working out for them down there, right? As you know, Miami has a history of doing some under the table business and getting caught for it. The NIL is working out for them. They put together some work, but Florida State's still the team to reckon with. Clemson too. So I'm anxious to see if Miami is finally going to get that stink off them and win their first ever ACC championship. Elsewhere is always, the number one rock star in college football is Prime. I want to see are they going to be bowl eligible finally this year? I doubt it. Let's see who else. Quentin Ewers. I'm interested to see who's going to be the number one quarterback going into the draft. Quentin Ewers, or as I just talked about, Colorado, Shedeur Sanders, or maybe somebody else. I was going to say this with pay dirt, but bet the under on Florida.
Oh, what's the over?
I believe they got them sitting at 7 games. Last I looked,
they're going to win maybe 2. They're going to win maybe 2. They have the hardest schedule in college football history.
Hardest schedule.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, Pay. Who do you think is going to win the Big Ten?
Oh,
I will be shocked if Ohio State does not win the Big Ten. I'll be shocked. Michigan is just, even though my homie, my co-host, B Dirt, he tells me that Michigan hasn't lost that much. They're still a formidable program even this season. But the cloud is too heavy. A new coach, sanctions are coming, and they lost so much talent to the NFL. I don't think they could bully their way through the division this year. Ohio State has all the talent in the world that they better win the Big Ten. They have no choice but to. They can't just beat Michigan to be okay. They have to beat Michigan and win that conference for Ryan Day to see another light day in scarlet and gray.
If he loses to Michigan and they make the college football playoffs, he might not get to coach them in the playoffs.
Oh, Tate, that's a hot take, bro. If they lose to Michigan, because they can lose to Michigan and still make the Big Ten championship and the playoff.
If they 11-1 and lose to Michigan, he might not get to coach in the college football playoffs.
Wow. Oh, okay. Tate, what are you looking forward to this season, man?
Amount of
wait. Matrix Tate?
No. Oh, wait. Of course it's the Matrix. I didn't say that, Claude. Pay said Ohio State. I just asked the question.
Claude? There you go, Claude. Get on in there.
Big Matrix. Have they ever won the Big Ten since in the 2000s?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Definitely not since Sandusky Gate.
Yeah, that was there, but they weren't winning then.
No, I believe it was 1 year prior to 2011 that they might have got one in there. Maybe once.
Great facts.
I had to put that in there because it's know-it-all. You got to come with some facts. That's for everybody.
That's big facts. All right, so Tate, what are you looking forward to, bro? Claude cut you off because we had to put him in the matrix.
They won in 2016 and 1994.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
But no, I'm looking forward to the large amount of high-level games going to be played this year. With the expansion of the super conferences, and the super conferences I refer to as the SEC and the Big Ten. You know, you're gonna have matchups like Ohio State, Oregon. You know what I mean? You're gonna have again, they've been having it though. Texas been there for a minute. Texas, Alabama, Texas, Georgia, Oklahoma, and some of them SEC teams. Just the amount of high level games you got USC and Washington coming over to the Big Ten. You're gonna see USC coming to the East Coast, maybe going to the Big House. I don't know if they do this year, but they play each other. I don't know if it's here or there, but you're gonna see USC in some cold weather climates. They're gonna get smashed. Lincoln Riley is not as good as a coach as we thought he was. He tried to run from Oklahoma because they were going to the SEC, but then little did he know USC was going to the Big Ten.
Yeah.
So now Lincoln Riley has been exposed as a one-sided coach. He's the offensive side of the coach. I mean, he never had a defense. Yeah. And that's not going to work in the Big Ten at all.
Facts.
So I look for USC to be where Colorado is at, trying to fight for to get in a bowl game.
Yeah. Hey, so take Oregon, Ohio State too, man. Big game this year, bro. Big game.
Third game of the year, right?
No, week 6. No, week 7. We see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Week 6. 10, 12, 12.
10, 12, 12. Shout out to the homies. LaFawn Carter, Pugsley, and Angie Mumford. Their birthday on 10-12. So hopefully for a birthday present, y'all get an Ohio State win. But LaFawn, like Michigan.
Yeah, big facts. All right, fellas. Listen, we're going to take one quick commercial break. If you're watching us live on YouTube, just stick with us because we're going to come back with the segue that everybody's been waiting for. The fantasy football talk, because I know that Tay Boy Fresh and Pay got some big-time burners and some big-time good advice for fantasy football going into the 2024 season. If you're listening to us on the audio, we'll be right back after a quick commercial break from the KnoItAllz podcast. And we're back with the KnoItAllz podcast on a Sunday. Listen, fellas, I think this is where some folks have been waiting and holding on. And we thank for all, because we got like 50 people that's been with us the whole show. So we appreciate that on the live on YouTube. And we've had outstanding comments. Shout out to everybody in the chat for the comments this week. But I think this is where most of the people has been holding on for, bro. It's fantasy football season, fellas. It's fantasy football season. So I got a couple of questions. Now, keep in mind, we all play in the same league. So I think there might be some fool's goals shared on this segue for the KnoItAllz concerning fantasy football, because it's going to be some baiting and switching and baiting. But if we're going to give the people what they want and what they need, let's give them one sound advice first before we start talking about players and positions and all what else. What is one solid move that can help somebody who's listening to us win their fantasy football league? Tate, I'm going to start with you first, bro. What is one solid move that can help a team win their fantasy football league?
I think you need to handcuff your number one running back with his backup. Because if you invest that much capital in that player, that running back, whether you take him in the first round or second round, you need to have his handcuff. Because if he gets hurt or goes down, and you got to pick up some bum off the waiver wire, you could be in trouble.
Like it. So what round is too early to handcuff his backup? What is the earliest you would go after his backup?
8, 9.
8 or 9?
And that's kind of early, but I'm going 8, 9.
8, 9. The handcuff the backup. I like it. Pay. Number one set of advice that you would give a person to try to win their fantasy football league in 2024.
One thing, well, the advice is relative, but there is one thing that I see year in and year out that people mess up and doing, and that's not paying attention to the schedule. Know where the bye weeks are. The NFL has been doing this for a little while now. They always clump a bunch of teams up. They have one massive week of buys. Bye-mageddon. It's happened before. You'll have 7 teams on bye weeks, and you'll mess around and have half your lineup on the bench because you can't play them because you drafted funny. Pay attention to what you're doing. Have a plan. Know where the buys are.
Big facts. I couldn't agree. My advice that I would give to the people, you better get you some running backs. Running backs is critical to win a fantasy football league. You have to have stable running backs because when it comes down to it, that's normally what's the difference. The difference maker, you can get great quarterbacks, dynamic wide receivers, but you better have some stable running backs. Decent and stable running backs. At least 2. If not, you might be cooked.
Big G, you know I agree with you, but we old school. I think Pay might be from the new era because when you said running backs, he kind of made a face.
I seen him.
Yeah, but so I've always built my team on running backs. It's only because it's only so many running backs, top 12, 14 running backs that's going to be really good. You can get the same production from quarterback 5 to quarterback 18 in our 12 team league. So I'm not worried about quarterback early in my league. You know what I mean?
Damn it.
I'm not. Well, I'm not. They are.
You have been before, and I feasted off of it.
You ain't never seen me drafted quarterback early.
Well, was it you or was it G? I don't know. It was one of y'all.
Never.
I know you were doing something too early. I was like, yo, that's perfect.
I'm typically always running back, and you say that, and we have the same amount of championships. So I don't know what you feasted off of. What you say?
Not more recent.
Nah, I ain't never drafted a quarterback earlier than the 4th round.
I might be mixing you up with your brother, who also has a chip in this league. Message.
No, my brother don't have no chip.
Zero chip.
I believe
zero.
No.
Zero.
Oh, looking at chat again. I believe I posted the league winners in the chat. I think that's his name. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Zero.
Nah,
zero chips. Zero.
He been to the playoffs maybe twice. Now Emmett took Patrick Mahomes the first round one year. He goes quarterback, but he did win the championship, but my brother didn't.
He shouldn't have won that championship, but y'all know why.
Yes.
Am I
know why.
Oh, that year you think you got cheated?
Joe Burrow had 24 to go. But that ain't even the issue. The issue is he shouldn't have been there anyway because, you traded him a franchise to get Josh Allen.
Facts.
Cooked us, man. You shouldn't have been there.
I needed that. That was my worst year 2 years ago, and I was in 2 leagues, had a losing record. That's my only time I ever had a losing record. That was the year I had Russ. Russ' first year in Denver was shitty.
Facts.
And I needed a quarterback, and I think I traded him CeeDee Lamb and somebody for Josh Allen. Yeah. It was another good player. Like I'm telling you, hey, if you make it move, you want to make it move, you gotta make it happen. That's advice too. Don't be trying to shortchange it and do like Big G be trying to fleece people because
I don't never fleece. Pay if I ever fleece.
Man,
I've never gotten a trade off in this league, so I have no idea. Tate's the one that fleaces
like 3
people.
Years. Yeah. Tate, you be out there fleecing people. If anybody, that's a
you just said I gave him a championship team. I gave him CeeDee Lamb and I don't remember who, because he drafted Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen both. That's what we talking about.
Bozo.
Yeah. And won the chip. I'm still mad about that, but I'll let it go.
He was the worst team in the league, and Tate sent him to the Super Bowl. Thanks, Tate.
Tim, that's not matrix worthy, but you still got to have top running backs, man. Let's answer this question. Caldwell, if you had the number 1 overall pick, who you taking? Pay.
I had it last year. Nobody liked my pick. Pay didn't like my pick.
Hey, who you taking number 1?
Tell the people who you took.
I took Saquon Barkley.
Terrible pick.
Hey, I got to the playoffs. He was around all year. I would maybe take him first this year.
Oh,
I hope you do. I hope you do. Can you give yourself the number 1 pick right now?
Going to Philly with Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, and Devontae Smith, I would maybe take him this year.
Hey, who would you take number 1 overall?
Well, I didn't say who I would take this year. I said who I took last year. But go ahead, Payne.
I really want to abstain from answering this question because I don't want to get too much. I don't want to get too much stuff. If I have 1-on-1, I think it is a choice between 2 players. It's a choice between the guy who should have been taken number 1 in every league the last 2 years, Christian McCaffrey, and Breece Hall. It is a toss up between those 2. There's a reason why you should take either one. I can give you reasons for, but I don't want to give, like I said, I don't want to give too much sauce and show up on Wednesday for pay dirt for that sauce. But you cannot go wrong going either which way.
Okay.
I definitely agree with Christian McCaffrey. But before I take Breece Hall, I think with a new offensive coordinator, a new system, and I know I'm gonna steal Big G's thunder, I'm taking Bijan Robinson.
Man, I'm telling you, that's who I'm taking. I'm telling you right now. I'll let it all be known. If I get the number 1 overall pick, I'm taking Bijan Robinson. I'm telling you right now, that's who I'm taking. Ain't gonna be no mystery, no thought about it. Bijan going 1.
Agreed, John Caldwell. And that's why I didn't pick him last year.
That's right.
You took Saquon.
What'd you say?
But you took Saquon.
Yeah, well, I felt like Saquon would be leaned on more with the Giants than CMC. It's having to share with Kittle and Debo and Ayuk and all of them. So, it worked out for me, though. I was back in the playoffs.
Yeah.
What, number 4 seed? The last seed?
I don't remember, but that's a tough league. You got 12 teams, only 4 teams make the playoffs.
It's not that tough.
That is tough.
You got dudes drafting 2 quarterbacks back to back. It ain't that tough.
There's Pavlok said, I'm losing week 1 if I take Bijan. Hey, the fantasy football is this length of the season, bro. Length of the season. And Bijan Robinson got to go number 1 overall. To me, I think he's the best player. But listen, I think he's the best player. I think as far as fantasy points are concerned, he's the best player.
I'm not against your pick too much, Big G. I think Bijan, there's an argument to be made. I think it's a bit of a reach. I think Bijan is better. I think Bijan definitely should go first round, right? I think there's about 4 or 5 running backs that should be in the first round without a shadow of doubt. I think Bijan should be no less than number 3. Now, whether or not I take him in number 1, there's a conversation need to be had about that, depending on your league settings. Let's put it to that. Put it to that point.
He's better than Breece Hall.
No.
Okay. All right. So I got another question because, hey, we're talking old school, new school, and I'm going to address it like this. And a lot of the fantasy, because there's a lot of guys that I follow and I rock with in the streets out there, podcast land and all whatever else, and they've had their fantasy football drafts. I know multiple people, I'm talking about more than 15, that with their first 2 picks, they took a wide receiver. Your thoughts about, because that's new school versus old school. Do you take 2 wide receivers first?
This is, again, based on your league settings and where you draft in the first round. If you don't have a top 4, if you don't have a top 2 pick, you should be considering a wide receiver in the first round. Tyreek Hill, he was the number 1 fantasy player for most standard. When I say standard leagues, I mean PPR. PPR is the standard nowadays. Tyreek Hill was pretty much the number 1 player for the most parts for most leagues. Tyreek Hill is in an explosive offense, and I don't think there's any reason to think that he won't do something similar to what he did last year. CeeDee Lamb is another one. CeeDee Lamb he's in the prime of his career. He's in an offense that's going to get him the ball all day and all night and twice on Sunday. which is the day he plays. That is another consideration to take. I think the first 2 picks of your draft should be running back. After that, the next 7 picks, majority wide receiver. Then you might have a sprinkle of more, three running backs and 2 more wide receivers. So to answer the question, majority of the first round is wide receiver. Now the second round is going to be split between wide receiver and running back.
Got it. Say, we old school, man, but I just want to hear your thoughts, man. Is a first round pick worthy of Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, some of these dynamic receivers that you're seeing in the NFL that's putting up astronomical points? Is a WR worth it?
Is a first round pick? Well, yeah, first round pick is worth a WR depending on who it is and where it is. Now, I feel like I agree with Pay's thought process on it, but I think I can get, if I got a top 4 pick, I'm taking a running back. And I mean, CeeDee Lamb last year in our league is 0.5 per reception, not PPR, half a point.
Correct.
So CeeDee Lamb's 135 receptions last year would equal 67.5 points in our league.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, the running back, be it Christian McCaffrey, be it Bijan Robinson, be it Saquon Barkley, be it Breece Hall, in our league, and I'm speaking from our league, you get 1 point for every 10 yards. So, a running back should get you 8-9 points easy, assuming they get, 80-90 yards rushing, and then they score a touchdown. That's another 6 points, and any reception is gravy, right? Reception yards is gravy. So to me, that's the foundation of the house of your fantasy football team. That's what it's built on, those consistent points. Now, I mean, yeah, Tyreek in his offense is always schemed to get the ball. So he would come into the discussion from 5 on to me. But like I said, if I got 1 through 4, I'm probably taking a running back. I'm not looking at any tight end to the second round, not even Travis Kelce. Unless I had the 12th pick, then maybe I would just get because in our league, you get 12 and you pick again, 12 and 13. Maybe I would pick Travis Kelce and then Patrick Mahomes and be done with my quarterback and tight end. But then I feel like you're waiting too long for a running back if you do that.
Yeah. Okay. One more question as far as, unless you guys have anything else question. Go ahead,
I was going to close that part out before you ask your next question.
Yes, sir.
You can win it. I've won titles before, and this is definitely a popular strategy. You can win in your fantasy league going 0 RB, and you can also win going hero RB. There's no rule to this, but it is possible. You can wait on the running back, as we've said in the comments before. I think it was Tim. He said a little while back, running backs are a dime a dozen. If you don't get one of those top guys, wait for it.
Yeah, if you don't get one, that's why I say I agree with your premise. But 1 through 4, if I have picked 1, 2, 3, or 4, I'm probably taking a running back first in my first round pick if I have one of the top 4 picks.
Yeah,
but I do agree. But I feel like receivers are more dime a dozen than running backs. It's a passing league now. Teams second and third receivers any week can get you a whole bunch of points.
Yeah, the talent pool for receivers is deeper than a running back.
Yeah, agreed.
It is, but the fall off, just like the running backs. Well, I think the fall off from the top tier of running backs is a lot steeper than the fall off from the wide receivers. Agreed. So if I have the 4th pick and I get Justin Jefferson, I have an elite player. I have somebody who's gonna give me 1,800 yards. 1,800 yards is still worth 10 points. It's still worth is 1 point per 10 yards.
Yeah, that's true.
Ain't no running back giving you 1,800 yards.
Hey, so that's a great segue to Tim's question. Is Jefferson going to drop off because Sam Darnold's playing quarterback? That's a great question. Either y'all can answer.
He better drop off.
I'll start. That is an interesting question because I've definitely debated one of my leagues, my big money league. I have the number 4 pick, so I'm right I have Jefferson right in my my gun sights, so to speak, right? But because JJ McCarthy got hurt, who wasn't even slotted to be their opening day starter, because he got hurt and because they're dealing with some other stuff going on, a lot of injuries in the skill positions, I'm kind of wary on Jefferson. However, Minnesota has a very good offensive line, which means Sam Darnold is going to have a lot of time to throw the ball to go to find Jefferson. If there's no Jordan Anderson's probably going to get suspended, and he's dealing with an ankle injury right now anyway. KJ Osborne has been lost for the year. Tyler Hockenson is not going to be back until midweek at best. I mean, mid-season at best. So it's really the Randy ratio. Shout out to anybody who remembers that phrase. It's really going to be Randy ratio again, all over for Justin Jefferson. So I'm not mad at anybody that wants to take Justin Jefferson extremely early in their draft based on that thought process. I'm not going to do it, but it's I wouldn't be shying away from just because Darnold is the quarterback for this whole season.
Right. I got one last, and this is sort of a difficult question to ask.
Can I answer that question?
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead.
So with Justin Jefferson, I think he should drop. And Pay said you have the number 4 pick in your draft and you got him in your scope.
Mm-hmm.
So now we know 1 through 4, I'm looking at running back, but also I think Tyreek Hill, not better receiver, better season. CeeDee Lamb, better season. Ooh. Jamar Chase, better season. They all have better quarterbacks. And I probably would even go Garrett Wilson, better season before I take Justin Jefferson. Just my thinking. Not that Justin Jefferson don't belong in the top. In our draft, 12 is first round. Not that he don't belong in the first round in a 12-team league, but I just think it's some other options I would take first just because I feel like you gambling not on Justin Jefferson, you gambling on Sam Darnold when you to make that pick. The one good thing about it is they are going to scheme to try and get him the ball.
Yeah. Switch out Garrett Wilson for Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Ooh.
See, I feel like in Detroit they got the rookie last year, the tight end.
Sam
Laporta is going to be the number 2 option to St. Brown. I do agree. But you also got 2 running backs that's going to eat.
1.5.
All right. So I got one last question. We all know, because we're all champions, we all know this is keys to our success of winning our championships. The double up. The wide receiver, tight end, quarterback combo.
It's called stacking.
Doubling down, stacking, double down. Get the guy you need to get the guy you need to go with the guy you need. How soon or how early should you actually be looking at a double up or stack in fantasy football? Tate, I'll go to you first.
Well, typically, you can build your team around this, but the fact that you don't take a quarterback probably to the earliest round 3 or 4, then I'm looking at my receiver that I got in the first or second round, depending on what I'm picking. I'm looking at that receiver. And then if that quarterback is an elite quarterback, you know what I mean? So I just said something about Garrett Wilson. So if I got Garrett Wilson, I would be more influenced to take Aaron Rodgers in the 5th or the 6th round to go with that. So if I took Garrett Wilson in the 2nd round, then the 3rd round, I'm building out the other receiver, the other running back. And then when it comes 5th or 6th round, depending on who's available, then I'm looking at Aaron Rodgers if I took Garrett Wilson. But, even Aaron Rodgers might not be a pick to the 7th round. But I am looking at building my team based off that stack potentially. Not saying that I would, but I'd like to have one. So if I take a quarterback, I'm gonna get one of the quarterbacks. I'm gonna take a flyer late on one of their 2nd or 3rd receiver, so I can have him on my bench. And if they get a connection in the season, I can go to that.
Got it. Pay, same question, but I got a question with a little something to add with it, Pay. How early is too early? And then who do you see as far as the number 1 stack combo in this year's fantasy football?
He must see Sam Darnold, Justin Jefferson. He got his eye on Jefferson at 4.
Man,
No, I'm a Ross St. Brown's going drafted at 4. I actually think the number one stack. When you ask that question, I'm thinking about which 2 players to be off the board first. I think obviously it's still Kansas City, right? Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce should be off your draft board before the end of the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Another stack, one that I've been considering, one that I've been playing with during these mock drafts that I've been doing, Baltimore Ravens stack, Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. I've been toying around with that, seeing how I can build my team around that. Not saying that's something I'm considering doing come draft day. Just want to see how the draft falls if I go into that with that strategy. Those are 2 proper. Obviously one is tried and tested with Kansas City, but there's that Baltimore one. That's free game for you all. That's one out there that's pretty decent. Another one that's going to be pretty popular, again, the one you used, Tate, Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson. I think those 2, but the only thing about that is Aaron Rodgers probably won't be off your board. He'll probably still be available 9th round.
7. Okay, I said 7th, 8th. You say 9th, 8th, 9th. Okay.
Those are some high pick ones. Another Brandon Ayuk and what's my boy? What's the quarterback?
Justin Fields.
No, Brandon Ayuk and I can't think of his name right now. Buster. For some reason I want to call him quarterback.
Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy. He's going to get drafted for Aaron Rodgers. So that's another one.
I don't think he is.
Wow.
Name recognition in most leagues going to get Aaron Rodgers drafted first. And when Aaron Rodgers gets a favor, like him and Devontae Adams, he locks in on that guy. And Garrett Wilson will be the guy he locks in on this year.
Name recognition is why a lot of people lose, but
you
might be right.
That's going to happen.
Claude, I'm going to come back to yours, but I like this, John Caldwell. Jalen Reed and Jordan Love is going to be a dangerous stack this year.
Scratch Christian Watson.
I don't think so. I think Green Bay got too many receivers, period. Too many young receivers to count on any one of them. Jordan Love will get quarterback take.
Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. Hey.
Actually,
that's a good one.
Actually, that's not the stack that's going to be pretty popular from Arizona. It's going to be Kyler Murray and Trey McBride. You heard it first.
Yeah, tight end.
Yeah,
I got a stack. C.J. Stroud and Nico Collins. That's just me.
Nah, man, you got they just gave up all that capital and spending all that money on Stephon Diggs. You'd have to go that way.
No, I agree with you, G. I think Nico's still gonna be the number 1 guy out there.
Me too.
I kind of feel that way. I don't have anything to base this on, but I think the tea leaves are pushing towards that way more than Stephon.
Nico gonna hit deep shots, and Stephon Diggs is not gonna stop talking or complaining unless he gets the ball. So I feel like Nico Collins may have more yards. Stephon Diggs has more touchdowns and more receptions.
Tate, Claude Bishop is calling you to the carpet, bro. He said, Tate, you said you were going to take the Steelers defense with the first pickup. Or was you just talking, and what you trying to do?
I hope he does, Claude. I hope he does.
Hey, man, I can win this league no matter who I pick first. It's not about my first pick. It's about the rest of my draft.
You took Saquon Barkley first last year, and it did not help you out.
I made the playoffs. I mean, you can't win the championship every single year.
That's not that hard to do in this league, as you just stated.
I won't say that, but I will say my sister got just as many championships as Big G.
Damn, that's.
But that's biased because I should have 2. That's bias, and y'all know it, man. I should be a 2-time champ just like the other 2 gentlemen on this panel. For y'all that don't know, I had Joe Burrow. I was down 24. That's the game where the young man got hurt and almost died on the field. They called the game. Joe Burrow had 9.1 points that game. And if Joe Burrow would have played it out, more than likely he would have got the other 14 I needed to win.
Straight bullet at G. That's funny.
That's the truth.
So what happened? I mean, like, what they canceled the game and you didn't get no points?
I got 0 points for that game, and I ended up losing the championship game by 24 points.
Oh man, yeah. I don't like the way fantasy football did that. They should have extrapolated from whatever y'all was at the moment of the game stopped and gave what it would have extrapolated out to be to make it fair.
No, because they get their numbers from the official Stats Inc., right? Like the official stats that the NFL provides. If there's no game, if the game's canceled, there is no stats. So can't make it. I agree that they should not make it an exception in that point. If there's zeros across the board, then zeros across the board for everyone else.
And that was the last game of the season, right?
That was our championship game. Absolutely. It wasn't the last regular season game, but it was our championship game. Our championship game in the fantasy.
It wasn't the championship game. That was the championship game?
Yeah. Championship game.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. I lost image. So should have 2, but that's water under the bridge. I'm going to get my 2 this year. And that's what I'm saying with the KnoItAllz show for sure.
Hey, Big
fellas,
G, I got a feeling.
Yeah,
you're gonna have a big trash draft, man.
I'm gonna have an outstanding draft this year.
Okay.
I'm gonna have an outstanding draft. I've had an outstanding draft the last 2 years.
And keep in mind, this I think this league is going into season 9 or 10.
Yeah.
And this was for fun. It's a fantasy league. It's family. That's why it's called Blood In, Blood Out. Yeah. It's all family, except with the exception of B Dirt and he family because he's a wee boy.
Yeah, facts.
And this is going to be his second year in it. But so we just play for fun and but that's why
I play for fun. I play for money. I just want to get that out there. I don't play.
I want that bread. I want that big payoff at the end, bro.
I actually pay for the chips more than money because you guys send me the money beginning of the season before it starts fantasy, and I have the money all year long, and I spend it. And when it's time to pay the winner, I'm like, shit, I got to pay this joker $600.
Every commissioner does it. I'm sure every commissioner does it.
Yeah,
right.
I do. Hey, I probably shouldn't say this on camera because I don't know if anybody, my other players are listening, but I gamble with some of y'all dudes. I said, let me try to make this money work for me.
Facts. All right, fellas, go ahead.
As long as you got at the end, that's all that matters, though.
That's it. You got to pay the man when you got to pay the man. And I'm gonna put this out there before we close this segment. For all the guys that play in our fantasy football league, I don't want Tate Boy Fresh chasing nobody about no bread. So this segue of the show is getting sent to Blood In and Blood Out. Pay your dues, man. Pay your dues so we can get the bread paid on time.
I'm gonna clip it and put it in the chat, Big G.
Put it in there. Pay your dues. Matter of fact, you shouldn't even get to play unless you pay. That's how it goes. Thanks. Pay your money. Pay it. All right, fellas, we've reached the end of the show. Tate, you know how we get out? We got I told you, or what you got this week for us, bro? If you got I told you, I'm gonna play your segue.
I'm gonna pay something. I'm gonna tell you something.
Okay.
Near and dear to Pay's heart, because I feel like this is his sport over the majority of the other ones of it. Not saying his is number one sport, but college basketball.
Yeah,
that's my sport.
Okay, yeah. I got Ohio State, the Buckeyes, gonna bounce back this year. By the end of the year, they're gonna be a top 20 team. They're gonna win 20 games and advance to the Sweet 16.
Ooh.
Tate told you right now. 20 games, Ohio State, probably fourth, maybe fifth in the Big Ten, and advance to the Sweet 16 under new coach Jake Diebler. Their recruiting class is top 4 in the country. They got some good young players coming back, and I think they're going to make some noise this year.
I told you. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? 'Cause I told.
Hey, he told it here first.
What say you to that, Pay?
We'll see. I haven't followed their recruiting that far. I haven't heard that they were that good in their class, but
Good.
I'll trust you.
It could be. I don't think it's just Big Ten. I think it's in the nation.
I'll have to check that out.
And Baby Mello looking at him. He on the little Nate list.
Yeah, Melo's son is he's trying to go to wait. Well, he's got an invite from Syracuse, but I didn't know about LSU.
Oh yeah, he been there. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, we shall see. 20 games. Okay, I mean, you play 32 in the regular season, so 20 games is not that. It's a good floor. I'm not mad at it.
Okay.
All right, Pay. Final thoughts, man, and thank you, Pay, for coming out and rocking with us, the KnoItAllz, man.
Definitely.
We appreciate it. You always welcome on this show. Anytime we want to go live, you know that you're part of the KnoItAllz crew, man. So what you got?
Part of the crew. He been down since day one.
Day one, A1.
Claude say, "Hey, I bet you they be better than Penn State, Claude."
Betty, Claude. Betty the quarter time, Claude. Betty the quarter time. While you out there talking? Well, Pay, go ahead, bro.
Let's see. The only thing that I wanted to bring back to the top. Well, thanks for the invite, G, Mod, Tate. It's always fun rocking out with you guys, Pauls, on Sundays and being a part of the KnoItAllz crew. I'm always watching, maybe not always live, but I'm always checking in. But I do want to bring this back. I said earlier that 11 coaches all time have made Super Bowl or championship in their second season. I ran the numbers. It's actually 10. I miscounted Don Shula. He did it twice. He did it for Baltimore and Miami. So
Mike Tomlin won it too, right?
Mike Tomlin, did he go to Super Bowl in the second year? I don't think so.
I think the 08 Super Bowl when they beat Arizona.
That was the second season?
Yeah.
Okay, then it is 11. I had it right. 11 coaches all time. Super Bowl in the second season. Watch out for Houston.
Oh, okay. All right, fellas, you know I get on with the burners, man. I really don't have a burner this week. Outside of just wanting to say a special thank you, man, to B Dirt for being a host with me week 2, man, to go to Michigan. I got all the details, the Michigan-Texas game. B Dirt, man, we gonna have fun. I'm really gonna enjoy it, and I'm gonna be even happier when I see Michigan stomp a mud hole in the Texas Longhorns in the big house this year. I'm a diehard Buckeye, but it's nothing's gonna be greater for me to see the Texas Longhorns get mollywopped against Michigan.
Don't Ma got to give you corner time in real time at the game?
Ma got to give me a whole bunch of stuff off of this game after Michigan get done getting. Then that ain't no.
But y'all bet it, right? Like,
you
gonna record.
Yeah.
Because that's on a Saturday, and he's gonna record it and have it for Sunday, right?
Yeah, I got all kind. Man, I got so much bet with Mod with this game, and I can't wait. So because I still say, whether people believe it or not, Pay, and I know I heard you earlier saying it. Michigan is still for real. Michigan, they have a culture up there. They have a team up there. 0-2, 5, 78, and 1. Those defensive players from Michigan is the real deal. So I'm looking for Michigan to beat the brake shoes off and whoop the SEC. Because I'm tired of hearing about the SEC already. And the season ain't even started, and Nick Saban ain't even in the SEC no more. So I'm tired of all this SEC chatter. The SEC is not winning the national championship this year. Book it. Book it, write it down, write that, whatever kind of way you want to say it. The SEC is not winning the national championship this year. The national championship will come from the Big Ten Conference.
I think if they win it, it'll be between Texas and Georgia. If they win it.
Yeah, if they win it. But ain't neither one of them. Neither one of them's going to win it. I'm counting the Big Ten for the national championship. All right, fellas. Thanks again for rocking with us. Thank all you guys out there in the live chat for watching the show. Thank you for listening to the KnoItAllz. Once again, but let me run the ticker tape, man, because we hardly ever get an opportunity to do that. So you can see you can catch all the podcasts for the KnoItAllz crew, man. So let's get this one to take. All right. Hey, since you're the guest of honor, take us out homie style, man. How we get down on the homies, man. You know how we do it. Take us out and get us out of this podcast.
Man, arrest Brett Favre.
And we out of here, y'all. Peace.
That was the old